Hello, welcome to new unboxing. Today will be a new quadcopter from MJX. Well, MJX is a really unknown brand for their helicopter, and now they start to to deliver some quadcopter. Well, more specifically here, hexacopter. You have also another model, the X900. Today, this is the X600. Okay, so you can find it in black edition or in white with some matte texture. So both black and white got this very nice matte textures. So there are some little variation of this X600. You can have some camera version here, reference as T4002. Or some Wi-Fi versions, okay, with a camera with 2 megapixels, if I'm not wrong, broadcasting the video with the Wi-Fi technology. So what you will find in this box, well, you will find the quadcopter itself, well, the hexacopter itself. Well, first, in the first glance, you can immediately notice that the general beautiful quality of the plastic and the build in general. So it takes the shape of a kind of spider, and not exactly, but of a kind of alien. It reminds me a little bit the Epson X4 and the general design, but of course much bigger, and can find this nice arm positioning for the hexacopter. So basically very elongated shape, very beautiful. Well, I will enter into detail of this hexacopter in a few minutes. What you will also find, you will find two small landing gears, or to attach or not to your hexacopter, 6 props guards. Okay, if you're a beginner, is always useful. You can find an USB, or not a USB, a power adapter to charge your LiPo. Well, the LiPo is a 2S LiPo, and you have to charge it with the balancer plug. Okay, so this is the balancer plug. But also you will find a bag with six spare props. Sorry, 3 clockwise, 3 counterclockwise. A bag with a screwdriver, some screw to assemble your props guard, for example. An instruction manual, well, in English, not so well written. It's sometimes confusing about how to engage headless, etc., etc., but I will explain how to do it in this video. And finally, this remote, a classic chassis with a tiny LCD display. Okay, you have to feed it with 3 AA batteries. Well, on this one you have some trim button here, okay, and these 2 lateral ones are used to swap between left throttle sticks to the right throttle stick. So basically you can have the 4 modes if you prefer to fly in mode 1 or mode 3, for example, or mode 2 or mode 4 like me. I'm flying in mode 2, it's quite standard. So basically if you are pushing this bow stick up, you are inverting and the throttle on the top on the right stick, okay? And you return in mode 2 or mode 3 like this. So when you turn on, okay, you can select the mode 2 and mode 4 by this button. Okay, you can read on the LCD display. Well, basically this top panel button is to select between the 3 modes: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Well, this one is to biased to limit the throttle stick, only the throttle stick, for example. Okay, here when you turn it completely on the left, the throttle is limited to 70. Okay, if I'm turning completely on the right, now it's reaching the limit of 100. So it's allow you to limit the throttle sticks and the power of the hexacopter. Okay, so you can leave it at 100% if you are already a good pilot. So the top right shoulder button is used to first to perform manual flip. Okay, and you have to indicate where to flip. And if you press it more than 2 seconds, you enter in headless mode, and you can see this indication flashing on the LCD. Okay, if you press again more than 2 seconds, it will stop to flash and you return in normal mode. Well, another point, if you are in headless mode, okay, and you press the top left button, you are engaging the return to home, while the return to 1K home as is written. So it's now it's standard features with all the modern quadcopter from the 2015 years. So it's basically the headless and this return to home are pure algorithmic solutions, since there are no GPS or barrier compass installed on the board. So it's working more or less efficiently and less accurate versus time when you are engaging late in your flight this feature. So don't think these features are very accurate in practice during all your flight. Okay, so well, the chassis is good. You can grab it easily. No specific drawbacks. Or one important point, when I disassembled it, I was really positively impressed by the quality build of the radio frequency chip. For example, the daughter board welcoming the RF chip, which is XN297, is completely bagged into the copper papers, and the ground was soldered on this copper to have a common huge ground, so it's very good. And on the antenna you have a foil one also to maximize the control range. So really they did a clever job to improve the range control, and it's working efficiently, as you already may saw on my orders video. Of course, so this is a really good point about the general quality of the RF part. Now, concerning to the quadcopter, as I said previously, this matte plastic is very beautiful. So you can immediately see that the general quality is very beautiful, very well assembled, so no problem at all. You can find on the top a switch, a power switch. It's always good to have a power switch. Okay, I really appreciate when a quadcopter, hexacopter have a power switch, because to remove the battery you have first you have to unscrew this one. Okay, after you have to slide the battery doors. A nice features, it's very clever. They already open a hole to exit all the wires, so, and you can exit the batteries. So this is a 2S LiPo. Okay, I can scale it, but it's something like I will measure in a few instants, but it's announced to be 700 milliamps per hour at working at 7.4 volts. It's a 2S LiPo. No discharge rate mentioned, but should be around 20 C, I guess. So scale something like 40 grams. Okay, I will give the dimension in the RC Group's review, but well, if you can see, there is no free room in width. Okay, so we have to install it like this more. No free room in this dimension, but a little bit maybe in length. You can install maybe a little bit longer one. So what I appreciate here, this is the fact that you can just enter all the wire through this hole. So it's always a good idea to think about that. Okay, so after you have to just slide and it's locked. So one thing about this quadcopter, since it's using the 2S LiPo, the motors, well, they are also supporting the 2S voltage. So like the HAC, okay, or the HAD from the GRC, you know this motor can have potential shorter durability. You have to know that because the voltage is twice more important, so it can impact on durability of motors. Anyway, I didn't notice such problem when I flew it, okay, but I'll raise a cautions. One of the points, negative points, they didn't install any ball bearing, but more some classic oil bushing. Okay, so the dimension of this bushing are 3 millimeters for the inner diameters, 6 for outers, and 2 millimeters width. So I strongly advise, if you can, to add a small drop of silicone oil in these bearings. Okay, I take from RC cars, you know, to oil your bearings of RC cars. You can find a lot of oil like this. It's always good to add time to time small drops of oil in this 12, because you have one on top and one on below. Another negative point, in fact, it's very hard to access to the motors. I try it, and it's so well built, so well solid, that is very hard to remove this extremity, the top and the upper part of these motor ports. So even by unscrewing everything, I was not able. So maybe there is a special trick. So to access to the motors, maybe the maintenance is a little bit hard, but in general, I'm still very positively surprised by the general quality. Okay, so what I like also, I will plug the LiPo. Is the nice LEDs you can have, so allow you to a very good night flying. Okay, 4 blue on front, 2 orange on rear, very beautiful. So, and 2 small blue LEDs are on eyes on the on front. Okay, well, I will just to show how well you can install the feet, of course. So you have a sense, okay, like this. So the more shorter on back and the longer front. It's like this. So they are very light, and all the quadcopter I can measure. I will use this box to measure all this quadcopter. I will tell this one scale. Oops. Can measure something like 180 grams with everything. Okay, so for an hexacopter, it's a little bit heavy, but not so much. And don't forget that it's using 2S motors, so you have much more power. So when you turn on the remote, you have to how to bind it. You have to first push throttle up and down, and the LEDs become solid. Okay, so nice features. Since it's the no camera version, even if it's written function and camera on top left, here the function is the flipping. Okay, I would just say that the bit in the 3-speed mode, the yaw is proportional to the speed mode. It means that in beginner is very, very slow. Okay, so this is a very, very slow quadcopter in slow pitch. Rolls and yaw are extremely slow. In intermediate, in the other hand, it starts to be already very sporty. So as you will see in my outdoors video, and well, in the expert mode, in fact, the pitch and roll rates are not so much improved, but in these features, in this mode, you have if you push sticks more than 95%, you will engage automatically with flip. So some people like to perform a sequence of flips. Personally, I don't like too much. So I strongly advise to stay in intermediate mode and to perform your flips manually by pushing the top right button. Okay, I'm not a great fan of automatic flips. Well, concerning the RF radio protocol, I hope one day this one will be deviated, it means that this expert mode will be bypassed, well, the automatic flipping in expert mode will be bypassed. Okay, I hope. So one point also about calibrations. So to calibrate the gyroscope, if I'm not wrong, it's on the top. You have to push both sticks in lower left. Well, for sure in lower right you can calibrate the gyroscope. As you can see, the flash the LEDs are flashing. So in the documentation they are also mentioned about the headless calibration, so for lower right. So maybe in fact is to calibrate the head, the main orientation, the main head of your headless mode. So it can be very useful when you start, okay, to set your head reference maybe in this direction if you're pushing both sticks like this. Okay, so you can limit the throttle by this button. I will make a small demo flight, but even indoors it's not very adapted. So you can feel a lot of power with this quadcopter. You can see the yaw is extremely slow. It's very stable for sure. Okay, I will not provoke any accident indoors. It's quite large model, and you will see in my outdoors video how it's fly. So what I like is, in fact, it's flying characteristics. Outdoors in intermediate mode, it's just great. The range is great. It's very sporty flyer. You can perform flips while moving forward at full speed. It's very fun. It's fast. It's handling wind very well. Well, basically, it's a very nice hexacopter. So I like the design. I like the LEDs, so you can have nice flying possibilities. You can, as you can see, you have a camera connector, so you can install or harvest a camera to install FPV gears on this one. So definitively this one is a very nice model. Really I'm impressed by the first model introduced by MJX. So well, they produce some good quality helicopter, and now they seem to produce also some good quality quadcopter, hexacopter. So the range is great, and you can expect something like 150 meters at least without problem, maybe more, okay, if you are doing some basic antenna positioning optimizations. So the payload of this hexacopter is at least 20-30 grams without problem. You can probably carry a GoPro, no, not a GoPro, but a Mobius camera or Rencan HD without problem. So to resume, great flying characteristics, very nice design, very general build quality, great radio range, okay, very sporty in sport mode, very adapted for beginners in beginner modes, okay. Well, the main drawback, I will say that it's hard to do the motor's maintenance in my point of view. Well, maybe it's a little bit too touchy for ultra beginners. So in intermediate mode, you have to have a nominal pilot level skill, and well, definitively for the price is very worthy. You have a powerful hexacopter, and well, the durability, the general durability seems good. I raise the caution about the motors. They got 2S voltage on their input in there, so be aware about their durability. But if you are time to time out bushing, or if you can replace them by real ball bearings, I feel that it can be very durable versus time. Okay, I end this unboxing and quick testing. Please watch my outdoors videos, and if you like this video, please sub it. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Bye bye.